Alrighty guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I've decided for the next 7 days I'm going to be using this thing to do appointment setting, just to show you guys, what is actually possible, what are some realistic results. So I'll be, sharing how many calls I'm booking a day, how many links I'm sending, if any deals close, how much money I make from those deals. Yeah, pretty much just showing you the ins and outs of appointment setting through Instagram and what you can realistically make. So yeah, let's get into it. Day one of 7 days of appointment setting. Let's get to work. Alright, we've just done a couple hours of appointment setting, booked a few calls. I'll give you an update later on today with my stats for the day. But yeah, stay tuned. Alrighty, I am about to head to the gym. I just finished a couple hours of appointment setting. So after I go to the gym, I should have gotten my daily report back from the manager to see how many calls I booked, how many links I sent, and like cash collected and stuff like that. There's obviously most likely not going to be any cash collected today because it's the first day that I'm starting. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow there'll be some calls taken from the calls that I booked today. And then yeah, we should be able to collect some cash, hopefully, providing I've done a good job of setting the leads. But yeah, we're off to a gym session now. Righty, let's get after it. Fucking lost my wrist straps. I think I left them at the gym fucking before I went to South Australia, which was ages ago. So hopefully I can find them there. If not, I have to go buy another set. But it's my fucking third set that I've been through because I'm just a forgetful cunt. Ooze. Fucking hell. Oh, I'm not in South Australia anymore, boys. It is fucking roasting. Holy shit. Let's go.
I spent my 19th birthday in the hospital with my brother and my mum, and I know it sounds dumb, but I felt like I lost it all. The pain's compulsory, suffering's optional. Takeshi's castle, my life's got obstacles. I'm still dealing with a whole load of stress.
Alrighty boys, welcome back. I have finished my gym session. I've got my report from my manager. So today's stats, I only did an hour and a bit of setting. So I moved 3 from requests. I sent 7 links, so I took over a couple of old conversations, and I got 2 booked in. So obviously there's still another 5 people there that have not yet booked, so I'm going to jump on now and see if they've replied. Some people go unresponsive. Try and get them over the line. Obviously today, no cash collected because it's the first day that I'm doing a challenge. So hopefully a couple of the calls that I booked today, we will collect some cash tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll soon see. We don't always make money. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow for another update. Check in the morning and see how we're all going. Let's go. Good morning, fuckers. This is day 2 of my appointment setting challenge. It's still pretty early in the morning. I haven't actually done any appointment setting yet, but I did wake up to a message from one of the closers on the team that he had closed a deal from one of the calls that I booked yesterday for $1,250. So not a crazy deal closed, however, it's money. So we can't complain there. So if we do the maths, I get 5% commission for being the setter. So if we go $1,250 times, I'm gonna say 0.05 would give me 5%. So it's backwards for you, but $62.50. So like I said, nothing crazy, but it's only day 2 and it's money. Cash in the bank is good. So I'm gonna get to work now, put in a good 2-3 hours, try and book as many calls as I can, and then I'll give you an update later on how many calls I booked, how many links I sent, and if we collect any more cash for the rest of the day. So stay tuned, time for me to get to fucking work. Alrighty boys, welcome back. I have just finished up my appointment setting session for today. I did 2.5-3 hours roughly. I managed to pull out 12 people from the requests. I sent 7 links, so I got through the whole setting process with 7 leads, and I got 4 booked in. So not too bad. Hopefully I'll just keep checking up on those other 3 that I sent links to and try and get those booked as well. Also, since our last check-in,
we had another deal close for $1,250. So that's the one that came through overnight, and then another one today. So all up, that is 2,500 cash collected, and then we'll go times 0.05. So for today, we have made ourselves $125. Like I mentioned earlier, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy, right? But I'm at home, sitting in my room on a Friday, using my phone and making money from it. That's kind of what it's all about, you know, being able to work from anywhere and earn money from, wherever you want in the world. So, obviously we've got quite a few calls booked to the calendar now. So, booked 4 today. Hopefully I can get another couple booked before the end of day. But $125 so far. This is day 2. But we'll keep going, see how we end up for the rest of the week. But I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. I'm about to go for another gym session shortly. So see you tomorrow. Before I clock off for the day, I just wanted to touch a little bit on the setting process that I use for my setting. You know, a lot of people use this massive long framework, and it takes, all day to get through conversations to potentially get people booked in on a call. I like to keep things pretty simple, pretty, straight down the line, pretty straightforward. Just, depending on what offer you're on, if you're on like an info products offer that helps people make money online, it might be a little harder. But if you're on like a fitness offer where people are jumping on the calls pretty much already sold because, they might be overweight and they want to lose weight, it's going to be a lot harder because, that pain of being fat is a lot worse than the pain that someone might be feeling if they just hate their job or, they want to go down a different career path. It's a different kind of pain. So if you're selling like an info product, it's going to be a little bit harder. But so my thoughts, I kind of like to just touch on the pain points, see where they're at, what's kind of their problem, if what I am offering is going to be the solution to those problems. And then obviously you want to financially qualify them. Same thing, depending on the offer, how expensive it is. You want to make sure that these guys are in a position to be able to invest, and they're not in a position where if they do invest, it's going to put them in a really tough spot. So you want to touch on the pain points, figure out the problem, provide the solution, and financially qualify them. I like to keep it as simple as that, and then get them booked in, because it's all well and good to have this massive long setting framework, but at the end of the day, if people aren't on a call, they're not getting sold. So I like to just get calls onto the calendar, calls to the closing team, and then it's kind of up to the closers to make the sale. But that's kind of just how I go about it. I've seen other people that do well with a massively long setting framework, but it just does take a lot longer to get through a conversation and get the call booked in. Whereas I kind of like to just shorten it down a bit, short and sharp. If they're keen, book them in. I shall catch you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, gentlemen, it is now day 3 of the appointment setting challenge. No more sales have been made overnight or since I last checked in, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I had a very big appointment setting session this morning, so I'm just trying to find the stats for that. Just give me a moment. So the business that I'm working for has had quite an influx of leads overnight. So my stats were, I did 5 or 6 hours this morning. I sent 32 links and booked in 17 calls. So hopefully we will be able to collect some commissions over the next couple days, because that's quite a few bookings on the calendar for the closing team, and also there's quite a few more people that have yet to book, but I'm sure a few of them will book in. So I'll keep you posted. Hopefully we'll be collecting some commissions over the next couple days. But I'm just off to go down the street, get myself a new pair of shoes, catch up with my mate, and I'll bring you along with me. So see you then. So like I mentioned, the last day or so, there was no more deals closed. So the commissions for the week still remains at, $125. And we're on the 3rd day now, so clearly that's not great. But hey, with all those calls we got booked on the calendar this morning, we should be on for some cash getting collected. But I'll keep you posted, let you know if we have a win, collect any commissions. But Have a lovely day, everyone, and I'll check in back with some news. Alrighty guys, welcome back to day 4 of the appointment setting challenge. So I've had a pretty big day setting this morning. It is currently 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So my numbers for today. I moved 48 people from the requests. I sent 27 links and I got 15 booked. So pretty good amount of calls on the calendar. We should be expecting some cash over the next couple days. I'm hoping. Since I last checked in, we have had one sale. Someone put down 600 GBP, which is pounds, which is the same as the other ones the other day, which is 1250 AUD. So that means in total we have, let me just do the maths here, boys. So 1250 times 3 is the cash collected, and then we want to times that by 0.05. So far we are, well, this is the 4th day. We have made $187.50. So, you know, nothing crazy at all, but hey, we're making money online, so you can't really complain too much about that. Oh, actually, I have just received a text message that another call that I booked in has just closed for 6,000 Australian. So that's what we're after. That's some better money there. So right, what did I say before? 1250 times 3 equals that, plus 6,000. So now for the week, the cash collected from the sales that have been booked, made from the calls that I've booked, is $9,750. So if we times that by 0.05, $487.50. And it is, what did I say before? 4 days in, we've made just under $500. So look, it's not life-changing money by any means, but I've hardly left this room other than going to the gym, and we're making money from my fucking phone. So yeah, the week's looking not too bad. I mean, this is for an apprentice or anyone like that. That's what I used to make for a whole week's work as an apprentice, and I haven't even had to leave my office at home. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep going. Hopefully we can turn this into a decent week that will replace, you know, most people's incomes, but we'll soon see how we go. But yeah, stay tuned, boys. I'll check in again with you guys tomorrow, see if any more. Obviously, we have a lot of calls booked to the calendar now, so we should be expecting some more cash. But all in all, a pretty good day. A 1250 and a 6,000. So cash collected $7,250, and I make 5% of that. So yeah, not a bad day by any means. And I'll see you tomorrow. Fucking 10-kilometre run and then walked home, so I did about 18 Ks all up. But anyway, we about to get stuck into some appointment setting. We did have another sale, which was overnight. Obviously, I booked a lot of calls over the last few days, so to only get one is actually pretty disappointing. However, one's better than none. So we had $4,000 put down, which means I would make $200 out of that. So let's just run the maths up for the week. This is day 5, by the way. So we've had 1250 times 3. We've had 3 of those, which is $3,750, and then we've had a $6,000 deal plus, and then the $4,000 that was this morning. So all up, cash collected for the calls that I have booked this week in the last 5 days, $13,750. So if we times that by 0.05 will give us a 5%, the 5% percentage, which means for the week we are up to $687.50. So yeah, we're going all right. Not the most fucking amazing week. We're not making millions out here, but you know, that fucking replaces most fucking first year apprentice incomes, and we've still got 2 days to go. So hopefully we can nudge that up to over $1,000, but we will soon see. But yeah, I'm about to get stuck into a few hours of appointment setting right now, trying to book in as many calls as I possibly can, and then have some brekkie and yeah, see what happens. And as you can see, like I haven't been to be honest, I haven't been grinding this out for 12 hours a day. Like I've just been, obviously I create content as well. So I've just been doing this for 2-3 hours a day. Some days are 3 hours, some days are 1 hour. But yeah, we'll lock in, get some work done now. And yeah, I'll update you with my numbers at the end of the day. Thank you guys. See you soon. Alrighty guys, I thought I would just give you a little bit of insight on the setting process that I use. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video, I use a very short setting process. As far as I'm concerned, you know, the more calls on the calendar, the better. So I don't fuck around too long with the setting process. So I'm just going to bring up an example here, and this was actually one of the deals that was closed over the last 5 days. So obviously it was a successful set because the deal ended up closing. So this guy has reached out with a CTA, and I've gone, cheers for getting in touch. Where are you reaching out from? Gold Coast based, but working the NT. Yeah, sweet, bit of trouble between them, eh? What's got you looking into this? Stuck in a job or already trying something online? And he goes, this would be the first time trying something online. I've seen your videos on TikTok a fair bit, but I'm looking into it as I'm doing FIFO on 2-on-1 roster and just recently had a daughter, so looking into this as it would be good for me to be able to work locally around home so I have more family time. Yeah mate, congrats on the little one. FIFO and new bub is a big juggle. Reckon you could keep running that roster long term or already looking for a way out? Well, before baby came, I said I would do at least 5 years on 2-on-1 roster, and I'm still aiming to do that but with looking into this, if I was to make more money from it, I would give that money to my partner, as I'm not wanting her to go back to work, as I want her to be able to stay home with bubs as much as possible. Respect, bro, respect. Yeah, that's solid, man. Proper reason to want out. Reckon if you sorted this, would you want to fully swap FIFO for online or just chase some extra coin on the side for now? I'll do it for extra coin for the start, and once I start to see money come in, I would most likely go for the online. Yeah, nice. That was how I started too. Just bit by bit, not asking for pay slips or anything, but would money stop you if this actually made sense? I would say no, the money wouldn't stop me. Yeah, perfect. You sound ready to take a proper shot at it. You reckon you could figure it out solo, or would a proper game plan from someone who's done it make life easier? I think I could figure it out, but just getting a little bit of help would be good for the start, like to be able to get shown the ropes around if it makes sense. Look, what I'll do is get you on a call with someone from the team. I'll just have a yarn and map out a plan based on where you're at and what you're actually chasing. They helped me do the same, and it changed heaps for me. That'll be good, thank you. When would the call be? Bang, dropped the booking link, and he booked, and he ended up closing. So, let me just break it down a little bit. Obviously, he reaches out, and I asked him where he's reaching out from. This is a way that I like to do this so you can disqualify leads straight off the rip. So if they hit you with India or Africa, something like that, like a third world country where you know they're probably not going to have enough money to invest, you can disqualify them straight away. That is why I do that first message. And then a bit of relating. Yeah, sweet, bit of trouble between them, eh? What's got you looking into this? So it just, shows you're a fucking human. And then, what's got you looking into this? That's pretty much just information gathering. So you want to figure out, what he's doing for work. Why is he looking to get out of that work? And yeah, what his situation is, so you can, see if he's going to be a right fit. He said, yeah, he's doing FIFO, 2-on-1 roster, Yeah, mate, congrats on the little one. FIFO and new bub is a big juggle. Once again, that's just, relating and showing that you are actually a person. You're not a robot. And then he goes, yeah, well, before baby came. So he's given pain points, right? He's in FIFO. He's just had a baby. He not only wants to give money back to his partner and his newborn baby, but he's going to be away from them if he doesn't do something different. So that's his pain. He's had a baby. He wants to spend more time with the baby. He wants to be able to provide for the baby, but not have to be away from the wife and the baby. So there's a pain point. So you've got pain. You've got obviously qualified financially because FIFO worker from Australia. and then just asking if he, what his goals are. Like, does he just want a bit of extra coin? Does he want to, get out and do it full time eventually? And he said, he'd do it for a bit of extra coin at the start, and then if it happens to work out, he would go full time. So then, they're qualified because they're willing to, put the work in and understand that he's not going to be able to leave his job straight away, but down the track, if he puts the work in, he can. And then by asking, you reckon you could figure it out yourself, or would a proper game plan from someone who's done it make life easier? That gives the prospect the option, right? You're not forcing anything down their throat. You're giving them the option. Would you like some free resources and go about it on your own, or would you like a game plan? And that is where you pitch the call. And if they say, yeah, look, a proper game plan would be great, bang, send the link, pitch the call, get them booked in. So like I said, that's a pretty short setting process. When I first started with appointment setting, I used to use a much longer setting process, but it would just take hours to get through conversations. I'd just be on my phone non-stop, and it would just be an absolute nightmare. You just take too long to get people booked in, so I've shortened down my framework. Just get the relevant information, what they're doing for work, where they're from, financial qualification, pain points, give them the option whether they want to go about things alone or whether they want to get some extra help. Bingo, book them in. But yeah, that's just a little bit of insight into the setting process that I use. Obviously, some will go on a little longer because some people will ask questions, some people won't, and some can be even shorter. Some just are like, yep, I want help, send me the fucking link. But yeah, just a bit of insight, so you actually get a bit of an understanding of how I go about it and what I'm actually doing. But yeah, I'll check in later with you guys for my stats for the day. What is good, guys? Thought I'd just jump on quickly before I go to bed, give you an update with my setting stats for the day. I didn't actually do a hell of a lot of setting today. I did probably an hour and a half in the DMs. So I moved 6 from requests. I sent 5 links and I booked 4 calls. So obviously the last couple of days we've had quite a few bookings. We've had a bit of cash collected, and today I had a bunch of other shit I needed to do. So I just jumped in for, like I said, an hour and a half to try and get as many bookings as I could before I had to go and do some other shit I had to do, an appointment and fucking film a few videos and whatnot. But yeah, so we got 4 calls booked. This is the end of day 5, so we have 2 more days, and I believe the last time we checked in, the cash for the week was around 680, I think. I'll do the maths on that, but yeah, hopefully we can nudge it up towards 1,000 for the 7 days. Yeah, obviously appointment setting is the lower paid out of the 2. Remote closing and appointment setting, you get 5% as a setter. Generally, on most offers, you get 5%. And then you get 10% as a closer, obviously, because your job's harder. You are having to talk to people on Zoom face-to-face rather than just texting them on your phone or calling them on, if you're an SDR, calling them on the phone. So yeah, 2 more days. Hopefully we can collect some more cash. Tomorrow, I think I will spend a bit more time in the DMs than I did today, just because I've got a little bit less on my plate tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned, and I shall catch you then. Let's get it, boys. What is good, legends? I'm just out on my morning walk. It's currently 5:30 in the morning, and I just had a text come through from one of the closers that they just made a sale for $1,500 just this morning. So this is day 6 of the 7-day appointment setting challenge. So yeah, another $1,500 cash collected, which would be 5% of that would be $75, I think, if my calculations are correct. Yeah, because 10% would be $150, so $75. So I'll quickly just do the maths on the money for the week. So this is the second to last day of the challenge. Yeah, what do we got? We got $1,250 times 3 equals that, and then we had 6,000 plus 4,000 and then plus 1,500, which we just had then, equals $15,250 cash collected, and I make 5% of that for the setting comms. So we go 15,250 times 0.05 equals $762.50. But not bad, not bad. Definitely had worse weeks. I've definitely had better weeks, but we still got all of today and all of tomorrow to hopefully nudge over that $1,000 mark. Yeah, so I'm gonna get stuck into a fair bit of setting today. Like I said, I didn't do a hell of a lot yesterday. Still got a few calls booked in, but yeah, I'll get stuck into today. Try and book as many as I can to the calendar and try and collect a bit more cash before the weekends. But yeah, just enjoying my morning walk. A beautiful morning down the beach. But yeah, we'll keep going, keep strutting, and I shall see you probably later on today, I reckon. Yeah, get after it. Have a good day. Alrighty guys, we have come to the end of our appointment setting challenge. Today is the 7th day. We did make a little bit more money. We did have something close during the day today. It's getting pretty late now, but I'll just go over the stats from my day in particular for my setting. So I pulled 8 out of the requests. I sent 6 links and I booked 4. So pretty standard day, nothing crazy, nothing, well, not too bad, but nothing crazy. And yeah, the close we had today was $2,000 deal closed. So now that we've come to the end of our challenge, I will add up all the numbers for the week. So we had 3 deals closed that were $1,250. So $1,250 times 3 equals $3,750. And then we had a 6K deal close plus 6,000. We had a 4K deal close plus 4,000. We had a 1,500 close yesterday, so plus 1,500. And then today it was 2,000, so plus 2,000, which brings us to a grand total of $17,250 cash collected for the week. So that is all the calls that I booked. That's how much cash was collected from those specific calls. So not the company in total. Obviously there's other setters, they would have collected cash as well, but this is just for my calls in particular and the commissions that I make. So here we go. If we times that 17,250 by 0.05, that'll give us 5%, which means, drum roll please, for the week we earned ourselves a grand total of $862.50. So unfortunately, we did not crack the $1,000 this week, which is unfortunate, but we still were able to make nearly $900 from home using phone and using some Wi-Fi. So you can't really complain with that too much. Like obviously I have some weeks I have weeks that are less than that, and some I have weeks that are a fair bit more than that. That's just the way the game goes. It's sales, that's a part of it. But yeah, I hope that gave you guys a bit of insight on, what it realistically looks like as a appointment setter for the week. But yeah, if you are looking at getting into setting, I have quite a few guides on my YouTube that go over everything to do with appointment setting. How to land rolls, how to actually go about the framework, how to get training, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to get into appointment setting, go and check those videos out. If you want a more tailored experience, more one-on-one training, there's a link in the description of this video where you can book in for a call with a success coach from ABC Academy, which is the guys that taught me the skills that I have now to be able to implement with appointment setting and remote closing. So yeah, go ahead and book a call if you want a more tailored one-on-one experience. If not, go and check out my YouTube channels. There's YouTube videos. There's a ton of value on there. And yeah, get out there, get after it, put yourself out there, go and apply for roles and start making some money remotely so you can fucking go traveling and get off the tools. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And also if you want to check out any of my other content, go ahead and do so. Thank you.